Hello friends, welcome to the day 30th of our Health and Fitness Club Challenge theme. From past few weeks, we were discussing on various health and well-being related topics. And today, being Krishna Janmashtami, first let me wish you all a very happy Krishna Janmashtami. Hope you celebrated the festival in a grandeur manner. So today, being Krishna Janmashtami, I want to make a very special video. That is what Lord Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita on health and how we need to live our life, especially from health perspective. Okay, so today this video is tribute to Lord Krishna, and hope I will provide some insights from Bhagavad Gita which profoundly explained about the health of one person, and everyone can actually relate how exactly this is being explained and how we can adopt to it. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's jump into the topic. So Bhagavad Gita and its impact on our health. Okay, so sometimes we take very little care of ourselves, as most of the times we drug ourselves, but we overeat, but we don't exercise enough. You agree? It's bound to have a depressing effect with all these qualities, correct? So to live a satisfying life in perfect health is possible, but one must have actual knowledge of the body and the soul and of the purpose of the health, correct? So in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains every person is distinct as is her personality, depends upon three attributes, that is called Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. The food one eats and one's personality are related. This is explained in the sloka, like the 17th chapter and the 7th sloka. Okay, people with the predominant sattva eat food which is greasy, nourishing, appealing and succulent. This is also explained in the sloka 17th chapter 8th sloka. And people with the predominant rajas eat food which is bitter, sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry and burning. Because excess amount of these foods makes one miserable and sick, which is very clearly explained in the 17th chapter 9th sloka. Okay, people with the predominant tamas in the body prefer to eat half cooked food which is dry, bad smelling, stale, defiled and impure. Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita also explains how a person has to eat. Okay, so while eating, one should concentrate only on eating as the food is served to one's consciousness. This is very clearly explained in the 9th chapter 27th sloka. And Lord Krishna says that even eating leaves, fruits and water suffice to keep us healthy. Okay, so we should not eat just to gratify our tongues. Rather, we should eat to have strength and vitality. This is a very, very important factor in maintaining health. Please take care of this one. And the foods that give the most vitality are those which may be eaten in natural form, like fruits, vegetables, which we prepare in salads, are lightly steamed. So all those things are very natural and good for our health. Okay, and let me provide you some kind of verses in Bhagavad Gita which actually explains on the health and vitality and how you could relate them to your everyday life. Okay, so the living beings are born from food grains. You agree? And the grains are produced by sacrificial work or duty performed by farmers and other field workers day and night, and so much of hard work involved into that. Okay, thus the supreme being or God is everywhere. It's present in the selfless service. It's explained in the 3rd chapter 14th and 15th sloka. Okay, so before you put a morsel of food into your mouth, say a small prayer for all the selfless service that has gone into making your meal to wholesome and nutritious. Correct? So know that every grain is a labor of love, and hence do not waste any of it or consume more than you need and you will. Okay, so find a whole new respect and love for the process of eating and become more conscious of what you put into your mouth. Energy will be a natural byproduct of conscious consumption. You need to be just conscious and respect what you are eating. Don't take it granted, my friends. And Lord Krishna also further clarifies this very clearly in the chapter 6, sloka 16, which says that eating too much food, or starving and sleeping too much, or remaining awake all the time is not health friendly. Such people cannot concentrate or do sadhana. Natyas natasto yogosni nachaukanta manashnataha nachati swapna prashilasya jagrate jagrato naiva cha arjunaha. This was very clearly explained in the chapter 6, 16th sloka. Okay? The yoga of meditation destroys all sorrow for the one who is moderate in eating, recreation, working, sleeping and waking. Okay? Which is explained in the 6th chapter, 17th sloka. And also make sure that moderation comes when we sleep and eat, exercise and work in moderation. Because fresh fruits that are naturally grown in abundance are near to you. That is like local and organic. That are the foods that will actually nourish you and give you the necessary energy to feel fit and healthy. You agree? So prefer the local food first, which is very near to you. The cooking too should be in moderation, not overdone or overcooking. Don't even do undercooking. Just right so that it feels juicy and smooth. Retaining the natural nutritious elements which inherits in all the foods. So Lord Krishna empathetically calls for maintenance of physical health through activity and exercise. Please do some kind of activities and exercise. He clearly states that one cannot even maintain his body without physical exercise. This is an apt reminder for people to remain physically active to prevent disease. Wake up now and act upon your health. So desisting from action, you cannot even maintain your body. Okay, this is very well explained in Bhagavad Gita. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajayo hrukar manaha, which is explained in the 3rd chapter, 8th sloka. Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita contains explicit instructions for self-control and self-discipline. After having been diagnosed with any disorder, people react in different manners. Okay, so they are curious, they are angry, they are worried. So some begin with some extreme diets, while others continue unhealthy lifestyles as if they don't have any fear. What is correctly advised is eating a balanced diet at appropriate times, especially when the Jataragni is at the peak time. The same is elaborated in a very articulate manner in the slokas below, like the importance of right diet and sleep. Okay, because you are what you eat, my friend. It is an old saying. Everyone knows that. Correct? So this is based on a teaching from our Shastras, including Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Bhagavad Gita and the various Upanishads. Yes, this is very clearly explained. To acquire health and happiness, one needs to live a balanced life. There is no other option. That's it. This typically comes from Bhagavad Gita. If you read it, you will be able to understand what I'm actually explaining. Especially in the chapter 6, sloka 17, where Krishna says to Arjuna, Yuk ahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapna bodhasya yoga bhavati dukkha. It's very clearly explained. What does it mean? The one whose diet and movements are balanced, whose actions are proper, whose hours of sleeping and waking up are regular, and who follows the path of meditation is the destroyer of pain or unhappiness. The message is relevant even today, validated by modern scientific research and analysis of data. Yes, this has been proved. The food we eat plays a substantial role in our energy levels. So eat right, eat light, and watch your energy soar. Okay, let's not forget our roots, what clearly explained in our Vedas, and let's bring it into reality by actually adopting into our life, even if it's a small change. Down the line, it will create a big impact, not just for you, for your family, and for the next generations. Let's make ourselves healthy and our next generations healthy. Okay, so this is the learnings from Bhagavad Gita which I wanted to explain and help you out so that we all become healthy, and at the end we all become a healthy nation. Okay, so today we are done. Tomorrow we'll come up with one more interesting topic. Till then, take care. Bye. Thank you.